Painting. Question and answer. NIOS. Secondary. Describe the dancing girl metal sculpture and mention its finding site. Dancing girl is a beautiful female metal statue found in Mohenjo-daro. Its curious posture is noticeable. The figure has a right hand at her waist and a left hand on her left thigh. Dancing girl is made of metal and is standing. Its height is 4 inches. Choose a painting from Ajanta and appreciates its style and technique. Black Princess of Gupta period was found in Ajanta caves near Aurangabad. The lyrical painting is made of tempera technique. It shows the free-flowing line and rhythm of the body contour. Write short notes on sculpture, Arjuna's penance or Ganga Vatarana. Arjuna's penance is sculpture from Pallava period at Mamalapuram. This relief sculpture is made on a huge boulder and tells story of Arjuna's penance. There is a crowd of life-size human and animal figures. The name of the relief, according to some scholars, is Ganga Vatarana, where Shiva has been shown receiving the flow of Ganges in his hair. Write short notes on Konark. The Sun Temple is situated in Konark, Orissa. Narsimha Deva I of Ganga dynasty built the Sun Temple. The large sun image and the female musician figures present a different kind of quality in this temple. Surasundari is shown with drum. How did Rajput paintings develop? Rajput paintings were developed in western part of India in Rajasthan and Punjab hills. It flourished from 16th century AD to 19th century AD. This style is combination of folk and classical paintings of India. It was later influenced by Mughal miniature paintings. The painting Srinagar is a typical Rajput painting with such a theme. What are the contribution of Guler school paintings? Guler was a small state in the hills of Punjab and the most important center of Pahari painting. The style flourished between 1450 AD to 1780 AD. It is characterized by romance and myth of Radha Krishna. Stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata were also used as themes of Guler painting along with royal portraits and court scenes. The painting Srinagar is a typical Rajput painting with such a theme. Write short notes on Krishna supporting Mount Govardhan sculpture. Krishna supporting Mount Govardhan sculpture is from Hoysala period at Belur. The carvings are delicate and intricate. Krishna is the central figure with human beings and cattle in different layers. Krishna is shown in heroic form, but there is softness in the composition. Give a general introduction to Hoysala art. Hoysala sculpture show deep carvings, soft rhythms of the body contours and delicate designs. Hoysala kings built a lot of temples which are sculptures in its architecture. Krishna supporting Mount Govardhan sculpture is from Hoysala period at Belur. What is folk art? Folk art is an art made by rural artists such as Pattachitra, kolam, embroidery, kanta, basket and wood carvings. What is kolam? What kinds of symbolic forms are used in it? Kolam is a floor decoration with rice paste. It is painted on the floor by housewife during festivals with symbolic forms like pitcher, lamps and coconut trees. It is also to be found in every part of India in a different medium like alpana, rangoli, kolam, sanji, etc. Kolam is the most important in the cultural and religious festival of South India like Pongal. What is the meaning of Fulkari? Write a few lines on Fulkari design. Fulkari design means flowered work. This term is used for a type of embroidery in Punjab. These are done on small and large cloth pieces. It is used for different purposes like veils to cover heads, chadar cover, etc. Fulkari is designed with traditional geometrical shapes. Mention the motifs and designs of Kanta art. Kanta is an embroidery and quilting from Bengal. Kantas are made up of discarded saris and dhotis. Kanta art motifs and design are taken from rural landscape, ritualistic mandalas, and objects of everyday life. Kalighat Pattachitra folk art has influenced the Kanta motifs. It is stitched on quilts, wedding mats, bags, wraps for mirror and jewelry, etc. Assess the role of Renaissance in formulation of new forms of painting style. Renaissance is a word which means rebirth. This period is known for new experiments in every field, including the art of painting and sculpture. Through 14th century AD to 18th century AD, experiments on use of light, shadow, foreshortening, and perspective were carried by great masters like Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, Botticelli, Michelangelo. Botticelli showed skill in the drawing of anatomy in his own style. He used cool artificial light to achieve soft, harmonious beauty in his work. Botticelli painted Birth of Venus. On the other hand, Leonardo da Vinci experimented with dramatic contrast of light and shade. He gave emphasis on the psychological aspects of expressions. For example, Mona Lisa. How did Renaissance affect the painters like Botticelli and Leonardo da Vinci? Do you consider Michelangelo as the greatest sculptor of Renaissance? Justify your answer. Michelangelo is definitely the greatest sculptor of Renaissance period. He was a master in handling marble sculptures. One of his masterpieces is Pieta. The sculpture has unique drapery movement and strong anatomy details. His other famous works, Moses, David, etc., are enough to regard him as the great master. What are the main features of Impressionist painting? Impressionism was an artistic movement started in 1874. The painters followed a style concerned with the effect of life and colors. It came to represent a great change between classical and modern painting. The pioneers of this style are Monet, Renoir, and Degas. What were Renoir's preferences in choosing the themes of his paintings? Explain with example. Renoir was a French Impressionist artist. He painted mainly sentimental and charming paintings. He preferred to paint group composition, portraits, and female model studies. He used shade of purple, white, and blue tones to unite modeling of figures dressed in fashionable clothes in the painting like Moulin de la Galette. Write two important features of Cézanne's painting, Still Life with Onions. Cézanne was a post-impressionist painter who emphasized on expression. He showed simplification of forms. In his painting, Still Life with Onions, he used plain color strokes. Composition shows vertical and horizontal breaks with arrangement of three-dimensional space. What is Cubism? Who are the artists to begin this style? Cubism is a style of painting and sculpture in which everything in nature is treated as cylinder and sphere. Cubism began in Paris in 1907. Pablo Picasso started Cubism, and his Man with Violin is a fine example of analytical Cubism. Cézanne is considered as pioneer of Cubism. The important artists include Picasso, Braque, and Lega. Why Salvador Dali is so famous? Name one of his famous paintings. Salvador Dali is famous for surrealist painting. He used his paintings to depict the world of absurd and unusual strange elements. His famous painting is Persistence of Memory, painted in 1931. Write short notes on Kandinsky. Kandinsky is pioneer of abstract painting. His works are combination of abstract and geometric. His famous painting is Black Lines. Write short notes on Man with Violin. Man with Violin is a cubist painting by Picasso. It's a fine example of analytical cubism. The human form holding the violin is broken into various geometrical shapes and then arranged together. The colors used are typical of this period, using shades of browns and green. Write short notes on abstract art. Abstract art is a general term of non-representational art which rejects depiction of contemporary world in a realistic way. It started in the year 1910. The pioneers of abstract paintings are Kandinsky, Delaunay, and Mondrian. Write in brief on the kind of art evolved in the beginning of British Raj in India. At the beginning of the British Raj, Indian art displayed a general decline. Fresco painting and miniature painting ceased to exist. Indian artists started to follow European style and technique of art with oil and watercolor medium. Raja Ravi Verma painted Indian themes from mythology and epics. Abanindranath invented his personal style of Bengal school. Rabindranath brought abstraction and introduced post-impressionist style. Jamini Roy gave a sophisticated form to folk art. Write an appreciative note on Gaganendranath Tagore. Gaganendranath was a leading figure in contemporary Indian art. He showed inclination towards cubism, but developed individual style with abstract geometric structure. He was also a great critic of his time, and his social cartoons were popular. One of his paintings, Atrium, is a remarkable work of cubist influence. What is graphics or printmaking? Name some of the printmaking techniques. Graphics is a process of multiplying pictures through printing. There are different kinds of printmaking technique, namely etching, dry point, aquatint, intaglio, lithography, oleography, silk screen, etc. Neither his poor eyesight in young age and blindness in later age could stop his creative urge. Who is this painter? Describe one of his paintings. Benod Bihari Mukherjee was the artist who kept on painting in spite of his blindness. He created Medieval Saints, a huge mural at Kala Bhavan, Shanti Niketan in West Bengal, after he became completely blind. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel.